everyone, welcome to Joy Junktique. I'm so glad that you stopped by today. I'm Rhonda and I just want to share a project that I did for ATraceofSparkle. This is my first design team project for Team Sparkle, and I just painted a little sparkle on my nails. And there's a little funny story about that. I usually don't paint my nails. I used to love to paint them, but I just always mess them up and can't seem to keep them nice. So I just usually don't use the fingernail polish. But I had bought this little sparkly kind. I had two kinds. Let me show you. And so I was just brushing this one on my hand just to kind of see how pretty. And of course, when I look at stuff like this, I always think of how I can use it in my projects. But so I brushed this one on first, and then I said, well, I'm just going to play with this one too. So this is what I ended up with, and then I realized I didn't have any fingernail polish remover. But it kind of worked out good because I have a project for Team Sparkle, so my fingernails are all sparkly. So that's why I have fingernail polish on today. Okay, so now I'm going to get into my project. This is what I came up with, and I just think it turned out really pretty. It took me a little bit to figure it out and to get it to a point where I was happy with it, but I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So I'll just get right into it and show you all the little details, and there's a lot. So for this project, I used the French Curiosa Kit, and it's mostly like legal documents that can be folded in half, so it makes a really nice, tall, skinny journal. I also used a few pieces from the Vintage Pirouette Christmas kit, just here and there. This is the cover. And here's the back. And I ran across this piano roll, and it was just a piece that had been cut off. And so immediately I knew that was gonna lead me to something with this project. So I tried to incorporate that, and I ended up using it on the cover and using this little scrap piece. It was actually a little tie off of the blouse that I just cut the seam off and opened it up. So it made a really soft little sheer tie that I just love. And I added this little sparkle and pearls to it, and it just went so well with the pearls and the rhinestones in the design. So I love how that looks on the front. I added some old age tape that I had done just to give it a more realistic effect. And so as I decided how to bind this, I decided just to use the twine and to poke holes through each page. And most of these are cardstock. There's a few that aren't, but most are cardstock. So I just punched holes through each page and went ahead and reinforced this on both sides of the piano roll paper. And I just ran twine through it so that you could adjust it if you needed to loosen it or if you needed to tighten it. And so you can do that with this little bow that's here. You can untie it and adjust how tight or how loose your pages are. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. And I just tied a little knot at the end to kind of secure it in there. So it wraps around 3 or 4 times here. And as you open it, this is how I bound it with the twine. So that way you can adjust it. So on the first page here, I have a little belly band with a really old piece of lace. And I've been using lace off of my lace garland that I had shown in a video that I have hanging here now in my little craft space. And so when I need a piece of lace, I just cut it off of my garland, and it's so handy. So that's what that is, and it's really aged, just naturally aged, and I just love it. And it has the lace and the rhinestones and pearls, and then a document at the top of it. And here's these pretty little tags. This was actually from the Vintage Pirouette, and I had some packing paper and I just had embossed it. And so I have little pieces of that throughout on different tags and stuff that I added just to give it a little bit of interest. And I just ran my little ink dauber over the top of it to just kind of distress it a little bit. And then this is just one of those pieces from how people used to stiffen up doilies and make bowls out of them. Well, this is one that was just kind of falling apart, and I saved this little piece, and I thought it would look pretty up here. And then this is one of those little clear circles that's got the sticky back that you can add your design paper to. And so then I just put the stamp on the back. I thought it looked really pretty. And then on the back, I just backed it with some brown paper. And then here is a really pretty tag from the kit. And so as you open it, this one's cardstock. I have a little pocket here. And this is from the Vintage Pirouette Christmas. I just thought it went well with everything that I had in this. And so most of the papers are on coffee dyed paper. So it gives them that really nice aged effect. If you turn the page, I have this pocket, which was in the kit, and I just sewed around the edges where there was already stitching in the design. And then I have this little piece of a quilt that it was actually off of a balance for a window, but it was quilted. Let me show you a little bit of it. So here's just a little piece of it, and it just went so perfectly with all the colors in this kit. So this was meant to be in this journal. So here is what I did with that. And I just put it on a paper clip, an old rusty paper clip. I stamped it with my little Paris stamp. Here I just added a tiny little piece of lace. And then I did some hand stitching here to the paper clip. So in this pocket I have a postcard. And one of the little rose images, I just cut around the edges of it and added that there. And on the back, I wanted it still really light and able to be journaled on. But I just took one of my coffee dyed papers that I had done. And it had been a little bit wrinkly even. But I just put that on my copier and just used that for the backs. And then down here, I have a tiny little piece of lace. And this was actually from, so I had these little tins that I had little wax melts in it. And so it was lined with this, like this. And it smells wonderful because it has the candle scent on it. So I just tore some little bits and used them throughout too. So that's what this is here. And it holds this little tag. And so this was more of that little ribbon. When I cut the seam off, it had two little pieces that were cut from the inside too, where the seam was. And so I used those as little ribbons here. They're really light and lightweight and soft. So it just makes a really pretty little ribbon there. So this was from the Vintage Pirouette Christmas too. So they work really well together. Now here is the second page, and it's got a document on it. And then I took one of the little envelopes from the kit, and I added some lace to the inside of it on this side, right here. And then I used one of the flaps from the envelope to glue it down. And then I used just my little tiny circle punch and punched some little circles that I could use to close the envelopes that I had in here. And so when you open it, I have this little tag that was also from the Vintage Pirouette. And so that little flap can just tuck right underneath that circle. And then it velcros back so it'll stay closed. And so at the top of this one, I put a pocket that way, and it's just another piece from the Vintage Pirouette. So you see how well these kits go together. They just complement each other. And so that just slides back down into this long narrow pocket. And then I added a little bit of lace to the side of it. I just love this tiny little lace. It's so pretty. Kind of like tatting. And then I used one of the fussy cuts to hold just a little piece of journaling paper. And then you have all this space here to journal on too. This is a really pretty page. It's a document, but it has the rose overlay, and I love it. And so a lot of the pages were made to look like they were torn. So I just tore along those edges and inked them up so they would look more realistic. And this is just coffee dyed paper, so you have all the inside of that to journal. The next one is another document. And I just fussy cut a rose up here and added a little piece of lace underneath there. Very simple. And then this one has a side pocket. And I just used one of the documents and put it on onionskin paper. Added a little piece of tape and folded it up the old way. That goes in this pocket. And then here on this side I just added another, kind of like a mirror image of this one, but just on the bottom. Thought that turned out pretty. So on this page I added a little envelope inside the side pocket here, and on it I put a piece from the kit, one of the little cards. And then I tucked in another little card, and this was left off of one of the pages that I had torn down to make it smaller. And so I just put that in here too. And then I added lace to the top, to the bottom, and then I added this little pin, gold pin with some pearls, and another one of those little tiny circles I cut out. As you open the envelope here, fold it out, I have another little piece. This was from the Vintage Pirouette. Looks really nice in there. And then here I fussy cut one of the bows from the Vintage Pirouette too. And I just glued it in the center so that it's kind of 3D there. And so inside this pocket, I have a page from the Vintage Pirouette, just kind of a background page. That is really pretty. Okay, so on this side, I pulled another one of those little quilted pieces, and I used a brad and just attached it. And then on each of my little tags, I added some of that embossed paper I was telling you about, and there's just a little piece of tape. The pocket down here is just a really pretty old piece of lace. And then I have this tiny little envelope, which I added some more of that too. And I'm not sure where I got these. I have had these for years, and I just happened to find this one. And so I took some of the really tiny little envelopes that she has in her kit. They're super tiny and super sweet. And I tied them up with a little ribbon. And so this one has this tiny little piece of tatting lace. And this one has this little piece of lace. Just put those back to back where they will stay shut. And then this tiny little ribbon. I'll fix that later. So that all slid back down in here. And here is another page, and it's green. I love it. It's so pretty. And on the top of it, I have another one of her little envelopes that just paper clips to the top. And on the paper clips, I added another little piece of that little ribbon. And this actually holds in a little notepad on this side. So there's that. I added some more of that to that one on both sides. And then here's some tickets from the kit. So as you turn over, this will attach that back at the top. And I just put another little piece of that lace and just some coffee dyed paper for a little notepad. And then here you have a lot of journaling space. But this just kind of fills up that blank space if you're not journaling there. Now here I have another piece from the kit. It was actually the fussy cuts, but I just cut around it and tore the top of it. Added another little piece of that corrugated vellum, I guess is what you call it. Another little piece of tape here. And then inside this pocket, this was a page from the kit, and I just cut off a section I wanted and folded it together, added the little eyelet at the top, and put a pretty little bow. And I added this little lace in between the two layers. So that's a nice bookmark. Now this page I really like. My favorite thing is this pocket watch. So what I did is I just fussy cut it from the kit, and then I backed it with some of this little tatting lace and glued it down, but left it as a pocket. And so I kind of have all the same patterns here. I don't like stuff really matchy, but I do like them to coordinate and to look like they belong. So I just kind of put the same designs together, and that way they seem cohesive. And here I put another little piece of that paper there, little ribbon, and that bookmark. And so that fits down in that pretty little pocket. Here I just put this journaling card and I glued it down as a pocket. And so inside that pocket we have some more journaling paper. And then I have this sweet little envelope that I have had that I got from Lori Girl on the Ridge a long time ago. And I just thought it would be perfect for this project. So it's one that she had made. I just added the little closure here. And I added a little bit of that paper. So inside of it is just some more of these teeny little miniature journaling tags. And I just think they're so cute. So here I put some more lace on this edge. So all this is journaling space. So I made a really big either bookmark or backing card that you could use to write if you needed something to back it with. And here I did a paper clip, the hidden paper clip with two of those tiny little tags. So that is holding this on. And then I cut out around the flowers and just glued that to the top. And so this is front and back. And I just love how it turned out. So pretty. So I'm going to take this little paper clip off. I'll show it to you better. This turned out really sweet. And so on this side I have a little coin envelope that I have coffee dyed. And then here's an image from the kit. Little puppy dog too. And I added some paper here and a little bow. And so then I just cut out the little notch there. And inside, I've had these little cards from my card making days, and it was already embossed and already had the little cutouts, and it even had this circle cut out. So I just folded it and I added one of the roses, and then the little eyelet and a little bow at the corner. So that's another sweet little card. So all that just slips here with the paper clip holding it on, and that paper clip just slides down over it. So that makes up that page, and underneath is just this pattern. I kind of wanted, as you turn the pages, for the colors to just make sense and kind of connect as you turn pages. So I know these two are different, but because this is here, I think it kind of marries them, because it has shades of both pages in it. So all that kind of plays into how I put my journals together. And then this was that piece that I had torn off of, just to kind of add a little dimension in the pages, not everything being exactly the same. And so I just have a paper clip here with another little one of those ribbons. And so on the back side, I just have this postcard, and this one is from the Vintage Pirouette. It's really pretty. Here's this page. It has a lot of browns. Really nice. And then on the inside of this one, I did another one of those pockets with that little corrugated vellum. And it adds such a nice little scent to this journal. And then this one, I added the paper, little bow. That just goes down in that pocket. And so here is another one of those little stitched journaling cards. I stitched around it too. So here I just have another envelope that I attached with this little paper clip. And I just I had these little tiny roses I've had for a long time, little embroidered roses, this trim. So I just cut off one of the little circles off the trim and added a little piece of fabric here. So that's just my little paper clip. And this is another envelope that I had gotten from Lori Girl on the Ridge, and I just love how it looked. I thought it was perfect for this too. So the colors just matched very well with this. And then she did the stenciling and all that on there, stamping. So pretty. And so I just added a little rose fussy cut from the kit. And then here was another piece of the ephemera from the kit. And it's on cardstock. So all of this just clips right back in there. Like that. Okay, so here is another little piece of quilt that I stamped my little bird on. So it's just kind of resting on this little card, and I added some of that paper to the top. And so this is an envelope cutout that I have, a die cut. It's just the little flat part that you line the inside of your envelopes with. So I had one of those that I had coffee dyed, and I just added one of my little punch circles to it. And it just, I used that to kind of secure this little bookmark that I put on the other side. And so I used some more of that paper down the edge, added a little bow. You don't have to do much to the pieces in this kit because they're already so pretty. So just add a few little embellishments and you are good to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna attach this back over here. It just kind of slides underneath that little flap and it stays really nice. Here's another page. And I just kind of left it plain so you get to see the design really pretty. And in here, I just folded up a piece of length-sized coffee dyed paper and put it in here for journaling. So this page is also pretty. I have another little envelope here that I added a little lace pocket to the front of. And then here's another one of those little, what do you call these? I'm not sure. But just those little clear stickies that you can make little dangles with. I saw Lorette from the Vintage Paper Girl do these in a video, so that is where I got that idea. And I just happen to have some of those. So I think it looks really nice hanging with that little rusty safety pin. And then I added some embossed paper to the top of this envelope. And here's another little card, little tag. Fits down in there. So this opens up, and here's another little journaling card. Looks like it's layered. And so see, I just kind of coordinate all the same design on each page instead of mixing and matching. I do kind of mix and match, but I still like it to flow. So this one went nicely on this page because it has a little bit of that green tint to it. And so I just have another little rusty paper clip. And it's the coin envelope from the kit. So I just took and added a little tiny piece of lace that I had gathered and a little bow. So when you open it, I just have these custom cut roses in here. It can be used in the journal. These are so pretty. And I inked around the edges of all too. And so on this side, we had this little miniature card that I also tucked underneath this flap. So that looks pretty. And I added a little bit of lace to this. I've never used this lace. It's on a roll and it has the sticky on the back. I'm pretty sure that comes from Hobby Lobby. But I thought that looked pretty. And then here's the next page. And this is the back. So I had glued this to the piano paper. I folded it over and glued it between those layers so that it would be secure and be protected. And so when I did that, I just left a pocket on this side and inside of it. So I shrunk this down and put a little ribbon with a button to tie it. Added some lace. And then on the inside, I glued them back to back. So this is the green one and this is the pink one. And then I overlaid the pink one with this really pretty lace piece. And then I have two of the tags in here with some more of that really aged lace. So those just look really pretty, I think. Those go back like that. And slip into this pocket. And there's the back. So there is the journal. And so I think I'm going to call this one Dinah because the music paper says Dinah on it. So this is my project and I hope you all enjoyed that and I hope you got lots of ideas from it. And I just appreciate y'all being here and watching. All the support you give my channel. So I'll have all the links to all the kits and her Etsy shop, also her YouTube channel, Instagram, all that good stuff will be down in the description below so you can find her. But she has some really beautiful kits and I'm just so blessed to be a part of this team. So that's my project. I hope you all enjoyed it and I hope this added just a little bit of sparkle to your day and put a smile on your face. So have a good rest of your day. Feel my hugs and know how much I appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video. God bless.